Have you ever received a haircut that missed the mark? It wasn't necessarily bad, but it just wasn't what you were quite envisioning. Well, by the end of this video, I want you to know how to avoid this situation and how to identify if a service provider is going to be a good fit right from the consultation. Welcome back to Unsolicited Salon Advice. I am Mo, a licensed cosmetologist and studio suite owner with over a decade of experience behind the chair. And in this series, I react to salon horror stories and viral content that I find online, add insight, a little bit of sass, so that hopefully we can all learn from the situation. Now, if you didn't get it from the title, today's situation is all about a haircut gone wrong. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. It could have gone so much worse. She's very fortunate it was not as bad as I'm sure it feels. So the post says, had my haircut Saturday. I told her to cut to my shoulders. This was a new place I've never been to. She cut a lot more than I wanted off. No makeup, I think allergies. I blurred her face so that you don't know who this is. So obviously she's not feeling great about this photo. I'm gonna put it up here. Like I said, I'm gonna scooch this way so that we can look at it here. It's not as bad as I'm sure she feels like it is. If I'm looking down, my phone's right here so I can look at this picture. Yeah, it's a little shorter than shoulder length. I would say it's probably like a good inch or two shorter. Also, the way it's styled is making it look even shorter. It's turned under. It's very giving Lord Farquaad, honestly. And I can just tell from her face shape too that this just isn't an ideal cut. I probably would have tried to figure out a workaround with this, or at least asked if she would be interested in some sort of soft layering, shaping, something, because she does have pretty fine hair from the looks of it, and this is just like honestly not a very flattering haircut. And this is no disrespect to her, she's beautiful, but you know, sometimes we have haircuts that just don't really suit our face shapes, and this is one of them, unfortunately. She's obviously valid in her feelings with this haircut. She's the one who has to live with it. But I do want to read a few different comments and get like a temp check on what people's reactions to this post was, because believe it or not, it's kind of all over the place. We have one commenter that said, hairdresser here. A lot of times when stylists hear cut to the shoulder, they will either cut slightly above or below, because when the hair sits right at the shoulder, it will flip out awkwardly. Though this should have been communicated beforehand, it's probably what the stylist was doing. Either way, it looks cute and will probably be at the shoulder before you know it. I don't agree with that, but we'll get to it. Another comment replied to that commenter and said, please don't make excuses for this. Tell me why I was just about to. Please, don't make excuses. Yikes. Yeah. Anyway, please don't make an excuse for this. This just happened to my daughter, but way shorter. The owner had to come over and try to fix it after apologizing profusely. Gotta admit a mistake, not say it will grow. Please. I kind of agree with this, but I also don't really agree with this either. Again, we'll get to that. It's barely above the shoulder. Generally, that's what shoulder length means. If you would like your hair to brush over your shoulders, you need to say you'd like it cut collarbone length. I'm a hairdresser and we follow a universal standard, but sadly most people don't stick with one person with an experience like this, and something as subjective as it needs a relationship between the professional and their client. Strongly disagree with that. To everybody out there is no universal way to cut a cut. Yes, there are foundations to haircutting, there are foundations to the elements of a haircut, but there's no universal way to cut a shoulder length haircut. And I strongly disagree. If someone tells me they want their haircut to their shoulder, I don't cut it to their collarbone. This is not your shoulder. If someone says, I want it cut to my shoulder, I will say, would you like it to raise your shoulder? Are you saying you want it to be actually right at the shoulder? Do you want it a little below because it will kick out a little bit? Do you want it a little shorter? These are things you discuss. You don't assume the client knows anything. Yeah, that's really annoying to me. I don't agree with that. And I don't know who the stylist is, but like, no, that's dumb. There's no universal anything. Just a little behind the curtain. There's so little universal language in hairstylist lingo that there are about 9,000 different coding systems for hair extension orders, like as far as the colors. There is about a billion different color coding systems, whether it's you mix formulas and purchase color via the number code, the actual name of the color, or the letter code, or a combination number letter code. So no, there is no universal anything with doing hair. Also, some people use grams, some people use ounces, some people use milliliters. It's not, no. And if someone ever tries to gaslight you and tell you that, no. Which leads me to the next comment. I'm sorry about all the comments here gaslighting you and telling you what you did wrong and defending the hairdresser. I am so sorry you did not get what you want. I'm sick of paying hundreds of dollars and not being listened to or properly communicated with. You are beautiful, but hairdressers should listen and communicate, and all the people defending this maleficence should off. I guess that's a good turning point into this conversation today. So, like I said, regardless of how this client is feeling about her hair, she could have loved it. She could hate it. I can automatically tell just based off her post where this entire situation went wrong, and that definitely was the consultation and or lack of consultation. And even if there was a consultation, clearly there was some miscommunication. Like I just said, never assume your clients know anything. Obviously, don't talk to them like they're like imbeciles, but almost treat every situation as if a client has never walked into a salon. Don't assume they know everything. You went to cosmetology school, they did not. You have a license, they do not. This is important. You're a professional, be a professional. Honestly, like I said in the last Unsolicited Salon Advice, clients are getting sick of paying out the ass for services and not getting what they wanted. And that's so valid. But this is where that changes and this is where that stops. So if you're a stylist watching this and you actually take some constructive criticism and feedback from this video, you are part of the solution to the problem. And if you are a stylist who has a stick up your butt and is unwilling to learn, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. You're probably not going to have a career in the next 5 years. Sorry. Back on to the focus of this video. Like I said, clearly there was a miscommunication that happened right at the beginning of the appointment during the consultation. Now, I obviously wasn't there. I don't know what was or wasn't said, what was or wasn't discussed, but I'm pretty confident when I say I'm more than likely on the right track by suspecting that something was not communicated efficiently during the consultation. So I guess we'll start with what is a consultation and why is it important? A consultation, as defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, is the act of exchanging information and opinions about something in order to reach a better understanding of it, or to make a decision or a meeting for this purpose. Like I said, consultations are the foundation of every appointment, whether it is a haircut, a blowout, a color session, or extensions. Foundation should happen at every appointment, every time, no ifs, ands, or buts, and they will guide the rest of the appointment. If you cannot get on the same page during the consultation, no matter what you do, they're not going to like what you did. During the consultation, you're going to learn not only what clients like, but you should also learn what they don't like. If you're not asking these questions, that's important. You should know what they like, what they don't like, what their lifestyle is like. Do they style their hair every day? Are they a wash and go kind of person? Do they go to bed with wet hair, God forbid, and just wake up and go, brush their hair and go? How much time do they like to spend on their hair? What's their routine look like at home? How often do they wash? Do they use styling products? You'd be surprised how many people do not. What is their beauty budget for the day? A proper consultation just sets the tone for the appointment and is the first point of contact in person where you are building trust with your client. I can confidently say that the majority of the time that anything goes wrong in an appointment is because the consultation was not thorough enough or just wasn't done efficiently enough, where the stylist and the client were on the same page, and before the stylist even touched the client's hair, they had a really good understanding of what the expectation was for the service. You gotta ask a lot of questions, keep them talking within reason. Like, this doesn't need to be like 6 hours. A good, even extending it beyond, a lot of people do say like, oh, I do a 5 to 10 minute consultation every appointment. Do you actually, or is it like okay, so you like this? Okay, cool, good. No, that's not a good consultation. Keep the client talking, ask a lot of questions. If you like to see a whole separate video where I give like an in-depth what a good consultation looks like, give this video a thumbs up. Why not? A quick overview of some great consultation elements though. Ask them what they like about their hair so far. Always start off with a positive, because honestly, if you go in negative, I feel like that negative energy kind of carries through the rest of the service. So start on a high. What is it that you're loving about your hair right now? If they can't think of anything, just try to coax it out of them. I mean, there's always something. We don't all hate every little thing about ourselves. And if you do, I really hope you get some help, because like, that's not cool. Go talk to someone. Ask about any concerns or frustrations they've been having. Are they struggling with dry brittle ends? Do they have damage from heat styling? Maybe they don't know how to get enough volume out of their hair and it's flat all the time. Find out what their concerns are, because this is also where you can teach them through the service how to replicate what you're doing at home. Do you have any inspo photos? Is there a celebrity or an influencer that is your hair idol? Like, whose hair are you obsessed with that you wonder if it would look good on you? Doesn't hurt to ask. And if they don't have photos, I personally just have specifically organized Pinterest boards of different haircuts, hairstyles, textures, colors, everything, so that if someone is stumped, I can be like, oh, so do you think more like this or like this? So that I do have visual components. You kind of want to get all five senses working on your consultation and have it be as interactive with your client as possible. Ask about their lifestyle. Do they go to the gym? Are they wearing their hair up a lot? Do they work from home and they don't really do their hair? Ask these kind of questions. Styling time. How much time do you like to spend on styling your hair? Sometimes people are asking for a cut that honestly requires more than just brushing your hair out and walking out the door. And that's fine, but they need to know about that beforehand, because maybe that doesn't work for them. Be sure to touch the hair. Have your client touch the hair, especially when you're talking about lengths of things. Be like, okay, so what I'm understanding is you want your hair to come to your collarbone. So that would bring us around this length. Do you want to feel to here and see if that feels like it's going to be short enough for you? Do you want to go shorter? Is it too short? Would you like me to leave a little more length? And then just constantly throughout the consultation, confirm the plan and then reconfirm the plan. You're going to want to confirm this plan probably like 3 or 4 times throughout the consultation, and use words like, okay, so I understand blah blah blah, so what you're telling me is blah blah blah, so if I'm hearing you correctly, blah blah blah. Just keep reiterating so that they have confidence in what you are saying. And then if every time you say that, what they respond back to you keeps changing, something's not clicking for either you or them. So keep that in mind. When you work as a hairstylist, yes, obviously this is art and you are the artist. However, you are working on a living canvas that has to live with the hair that you give them. So they have to be happy about it and feel confident in it and enjoy the way that it looks when it's done and be able to replicate it, because it could look great when you do it, but then when they try to do it and they don't know what they're doing to style it, it could look terrible, and that's not cool either. Communication and a thorough consultation is the best way to make sure that you have happy clients leaving your salon every time, no questions asked, and that they are obsessed, raving fans that continue to come back time and time again. So tell me your thoughts. Do you think this was a simple misunderstanding, or do you think this is a really big deal? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to continue to see my face pop up on your screen and more of the series, be sure to click the subscribe button down below, and definitely check out the Unsolicited Salon Advice playlist for more episodes from the series. Have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one.